This is a DRC-20, and these are Doginals and DRC-20s. In today's video, in less than 7 minutes, I'm going to give you guys my full thesis on how this is going to be the easiest 100x this bull run. Most people are not talking about this, but it will do numbers, not financial advice. But before we get into the thesis, if you guys are new to Drake on Digital, I talk all things crypto, DeFi, NFTs, you name it. If you like to stay ahead of the game and like to learn about different topics before they become a trend, well, this is your place to be. So since I only have 7 minutes and I have to go through 9 different points on this thesis, let's go through them fast. Point number 1 is everyone gets on the ground floor. In order for anyone to mint or get one of these tokens, they have to pay gas in order to mint this. So there are no VCs. There are no insiders. It's literally anyone who finds this ticker and mints the quickest is the person who gets this. So let's say, for example, I wanted to mint some WIN. I would have to pay this gas fee in order to get some WIN, and it's going to cost me 14 Doge. I probably want to increase the gas fee so I don't get stuck in there, but it'll be the cost of that Doge to mint this 10 different times. And I'm going to be getting 1, 2, 3. And minting this gives you like 1 trillion tokens. Well, for each mint. But I'm minting 14 different times, so it's giving me 10 trillion different tokens. So point number 1 is everyone gets on the ground floor and there are no insiders. Point number 2 is when retail sees something like Bitcoin pumping and going nuts and ham, they'll feel, oh snap, I missed it. What's the next best retail coin when people look on Robinhood, when they look on Coinbase? It's Doge. If you take a look at Doge, you can see here it's way down from its all-time highs. And these DRC-20s and Doginals are basically beta plays on the Doge coin. When I say beta plays, this basically means it's almost like a leverage bet. So if you're betting Bitcoin is going to increase in price, a beta play would be betting on the Bitcoin miners. They tend to be a levered play on Bitcoin because their earnings are denominated in Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin currently costs 10K and now it's 20K, their earnings are that much more. Now, this leads me into point number 3. When retail is getting this Dogecoin, they're going to look at it and be like, wow, this is a cool coin. I'm bored. How can I stake this? What can I do with it? Well, currently you can't do anything with Doge. However, with DRC-20s and Doginals, you can now play around with this DeFi thing. So retail can now actually play in this thing we call DeFi. Now, this isn't intrinsically DeFi. However, you can get these different tokens in these DRC-20s and do DeFi things with them. There are some projects and protocols building on Dogechain to do that exact thing. So they're working to allow these DRC-20s to be able to be used in an LP pool, in a lending protocol. There are different projects currently working on this right now. So point number 3, it allows the retail to feel like they did something or are doing something instead of sitting on their tokens. We all know how hard it is to sit on our tokens. 4th is people are going to get fed up. I repeat, fed up with these gas fees. Currently, this is cheap right now. 75 sats per VByte. That's basically the cost to just send Bitcoin at this rate. This is the Bitcoin mempool. It costs $6.37. So if I wanted to send $10 in Bitcoin to someone, it's going to cost me $6.37. And depending on how much data is on that chain or on that transaction that I send, you can see here that for some, they're paying $829, $957, $766. That's literally the cost, the fee that they are paying in order to inscribe or transfer whatever they are doing. That is not sustainable. However, when you come over on Doge, it's going to cost you like, I don't know, 1 Doge or 1.5 Doge at its peak, like when it's really expensive. So we're talking like 10 to 15 cents. That's much cheaper than costing you $6, $7. So think of Doge like a layer 2 to Bitcoin. Well, it's not a layer 2, but that's just putting things into perspective. Now, the 5th point is Doge is inflationary. However, these DRC-20s, they are not inflationary. They are deflationary. There's a max supply, and the only place the supply can go is down as people are sending it to other wallets, or if they send it to cyberspace and it accidentally gets lost. So technically, the supply is deflationary. And Doge is a example of this. Doge is the very first DRC-20, and I call this ultrasound Doge. Why? Because there is only 21 million Doge ever in existence, and you can bet your buns that some people who minted Doge, like back in the day, I don't know, 8 months ago, they either lost their keys or forgot they even minted it. How do I know? Because I minted some. I didn't lose my keys. I ended up minting the wrong kind, but I completely forgot about this thing. And then I was like, oh snap, Doge, it actually did something. Now, the sixth point is Dogecoiners, they can now buy Doginals instead of going on ETH and buying the different NFTs. This further amplifies the gains in the Doge ecosystem because people are spending a bunch of Doge on these different Doginals. An example, someone is paying 18,000 Doge. This is over $2,000 in order to get one of these Doginals. Same goes for Doge smokes. People are paying 13,000 Doge just in order to have one of these Doginals. So instead of taking that money into the Ethereum ecosystem, it's now reinvested into the Doge ecosystem. Point number 7 is that there's no major exchanges for these DRC-20s. You literally have Gate.io and BitMax, and then something called TapBit. These are the only exchanges that currently support Doge, the number one DRC-20, and this is about an $80 million market cap token. And you have a bunch of others that aren't even on an exchange. All I'm trying to say is as soon as there's an exchange listing, come on, a major one. It doesn't even have to be a Coinbase or a Binance. It could simply just be like an OKX or even a KuCoin. The liquidity will flow in. I'll just give you an example of one of them. One of them was called Ordi. Ordi moonshot. As soon as it went on to Binance and KuCoin, it went from like $3 to over $80. And that was literally just from a Binance listing. And this thing is a $1.5 billion market cap. Doge, it's about $70 to $80 million market cap. And then a bunch of the other DRC-20s, some of them are like 1 million and sub 1 million. Very low market caps. Now, number 8 is that it's a really grassroots community. If you just search Doge or DRC-20 on Twitter, you will pull up a bunch of different Twitter profiles that are literally specifically built for the Doginals and DRC-20 ecosystem. And you even have people that run spaces around this. All I'm trying to say is there is a grassroots community and these guys are behind it and they are a cult. And the cults are usually what you want to invest in. The same goes for Bitcoin and ETH. Those are cult coins. Now, lastly, I want to talk about Elon Musk. Elon, he loves Doge. And if you take a look at Elon Musk and his Twitter account, he already mentioned about integrating payments into Twitter. And he's hinted several times of the Doge symbol being on there. All I'm saying is Elon Musk just has to tweet about this or catch on, and he's already done it several times in the past. He likes Doge, and him tweeting and talking about Doge is broadcasted to over 174 million people on Twitter. He basically owns the Twitter. Well, he does own the Twitter platform, and basically whatever he says goes. Now, I can go further into depth on this thesis, but I wanted to keep it simple. It's under 7 minutes. If you guys want to see the Doginals that I'm targeting and the DRC-20s, you guys can join the Discord. The link is in the description below, but I really think this is one of the easiest opportunities that you have for this bull run to make over a 100x. And most of these, they will do a 1000x, and some of them will even do a 10,000x. You can check out the previous videos I made on YouTube on how to mint some of these. There is one minting right now. It's almost minted out. That could potentially do this 100 to 1000x. And if you guys simply just want to go farm some airdrops, I have those guides on the YouTube channel as well. I dropped you guys a airdrop spreadsheet for free. So if you want to access that and find the different protocols to farm, I'll drop that in the description below. If you want access to the full sheet, that will be in the Discord group. The full sheet includes the protocols to farm and use, as well as the NFTs to hold, as well as the tokens to stake, as well as the airdrops that you can claim now, as well as the nodes that you guys need to set up. Let's go ahead and hit you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 16 verses 1. To the humans belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue. Be good, be righteous. He's got this.